Yep.
And just the other day, I saw BYU lost to someone that surprised me. Do you remember who it was? It was
They
just
they
last few
lost
days.
at I forget. I know they lost at Utah Valley in a big rivalry game,
Okay,
and then they
maybe
had
that was
a
it.
quick turnaround. I forget who recently. I know they're off to overall a good start. They're a high net team. They were ranked in the top 25. I think they were 24th recently. I don't know what
Much
they
like
were.
you, they have a lot of guys who put it in the basket.
Yeah, well, they have, and they're an older group, and they're excited about their team. They're coming off a good year, so I mean, again, the excitement about playing the Diamond Head Classic with the caliber of programs, the coaches, the players, and in a quick turnaround over the holidays is really exciting. And we have this stretch where we do need to clean up on. Obviously, you first say, hey, it starts with us, then them. You hear us say that all the time, us first, then them. But specifically with what we're going through, not just with the health situation. So the focus has still been on us. We're doing a lot of prep work on the other teams. You actually have to start with Vanderbilt, but wrinkle in there or sprinkle into our practices maybe something we haven't seen. Let's say if a team in the tournament has a unique zone or a unique kind of man defensive system or something crazy out of bounds that we may not have prepared for. So you wrinkle it into some of the practices just in case that comes up. And
Yeah.
to be honest, a lot of time that's helped us moving forward if we see something new in our league.
Okay, now in terms of the way a scout works is before a team team is getting ready. You go on the road. You play Thursdays and Saturdays. So somebody will have the scout, and you'll be working on that, say, the Thursday game. Tuesday, Wednesday is a big day for it. There'll also be a little reminder session on the day of the game. When you have so many games in such a short number of days, that sort of accelerates the whole process. I mean, it's challenging for the assistants.
Yeah, it's challenging, but then the trained eye that you develop, and then it's scouting is so many levels. One is always the data gathering, which is really tedious and exhausting, but everyone should be able to do it. Then you shift gears into your ability to put it on paper, a scouting report, put it in film, a scout edit. You've seen both. And then the biggest piece is now you're transferring it, the last two pieces, where how do you transfer it to your guys in a simple and efficient way where they can pick things up, and they've done a really good job with it. Last thing, can you see it live in the moment as a coach? And there's an exciting competitive deal to that where you can see what the other guys are doing in the moment to help your guys, and then they can pick those things up. So I do know that, let's say we go on and play Thursday, Saturday games. Let's say Coach Montgomery has done a great job preparing his. Simultaneously, we're all locked into one, but let's say Brad's got the Saturday scout. Game's over, us first, then them. Brad brings in the Saturday scout. We trickle it, chip away at it, and here we go. We play Saturday. We're ready to go. So there is a routine and a system very firmly in place for the staff and the guys.
Well, it's kind of fun. And the final piece is you said, can the coaches see it in real time? And I think the bottom line is, can the players see it? What you've been teaching them or telling them, can they see it in real time? That's the acid test, really.
Yeah, and over the course of the year, and you have new guys, the veteran guys do it, and the new guys as the year goes along. But that's why everything's about putting them in a position to succeed without our help. But as a coach, when you come back to work, our deal is always, how do I help our guys? How do I help our guys? So whenever we can assist them in that, we will. So there becomes a gamesmanship there when you're watching. Some teams pick up calls. Of the other teams, play calls, things like that.
You guys always know what it is.
Yeah, but when you get to a point when you can see the first pass and you know what it is, that's a good feeling too. And so that's your competitive juices. We can't play, so let's compete in this way and be right there with our guys, even if we're not on the floor for them.
No, and I often see that because you guys are saying, okay, here's what they call it, here's how they signal it. I mean, by the time the players – they're yelling out sometimes what they're gonna see next.
Yeah, and preparation is a big part of this. There's you're trying to win in the margin. You're trying to get any point you can get, and scouting and preparation is a big part of that. And it's a big part of everything we do in our program. So there's no guarantees. All you can do is put yourselves and your team in the best position to succeed, and we try really hard to do that, and hopefully we'll continue to do that.
Okay, I want to get to a couple of players because I think some people are unfamiliar with some of these guys right now. Jerome Derosier, I got to tell you that some of these guys, I like him so much. I've had a number of conversations, very thoughtful, as one might expect for a Princeton grad, but he's bright, he's friendly, he's on top of things, and I noticed when you guys are teaching him, he gets things quickly.
Yeah, and you could talk about him and Kamaka. They've done a great job picking things up, and that's not easy because of all we've asked them to do. You forget they are in their first year in our program. So they are still learning their way, but they've adjusted nicely. Jerome is intelligent young man and a great worker, and I think he's a late bloomer. We were meeting today, and I said, he hadn't played in a year. He came in at 252. He's 235 now. He's in the best shape of his life, and guess what? He's playing at a high level. He's hard to defend inside. He's a really good shooter on the perimeter. He can take players off the bounce and get to the free throw line. He's a good passer. He's a good defender because of his physicality. I think, to have that kind of start to his career, and then and knowing that he's going to continue to build on. Now he's got 7 games of experience. I'm excited what lies ahead for him, but he's done a nice job. And Kamaka, same thing. First year guy. He's averaging, everybody wants it to happen overnight, but I look at it and go, okay, so Kamaka's averaging 10 and 5. He's shooting 50 and 45. 50 from the field, 45 from 3, I think 80 from the line. That's a heck of a start and something to build off. So I think those guys will continue to improve because, again, it's only 7 games. But to get off to that kind of start, especially with the guys we've had that have been out of the lineup, to have to play different they're playing 2 positions in their first year, and they've done a nice job with that. But that speaks, like you said earlier, to their intelligence, their approach, the way they were raised. It's been awesome to be around them.
One of the things, Jerome, 11.5 and 8.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really impressive. The other thing is I've noticed some teams will then put a guy and think they're going to back Jerome down. That's a tough task because that guy's solid.
I haven't seen him moved yet.
No.
I think there are times maybe Byu and him will go at it in practice, but he is long. He's not, he's 6'6" and a half, 6'7", so maybe a 6'9", 6'10" guy might want to go over him. But he is longer than you think. That's why you can see him play so much above the rim. And he is immovable. So you better get him deep in the paint, which is not easy to do. And, so much of what he's done for us has been great, but, people talk first about the physicality. But just his understanding of the way the game's supposed to be played has really made it easier. And he's a guy who's easy to play with.
And I think that's evident. He's also and this is true of almost everybody on that team, he's very unselfish. I mean, his team moves the ball around.
Yeah, and the more that happens, we've been a top 50 program in assist percentage over the years. I think last year was a little bit of a dip, and so you always have to build that back up, especially with a young group who's learning how to play. Now they're more comfortable, they're finding their spots, and they also expect the ball to come their way. You don't want to, there's a balance there because we like to sometimes say, don't pass up a shot for maybe a good shot for maybe a good shot. Or a great shot, but pass up a good shot for a great shot. Does that make sense? Some people pass up good shot and then you're just playing catch. They have a good balance there, and it's become harder over the course of a game to make defenses rotate over and over again and have an unselfish group like that and have different guys who've scored. I mean, I think we've also had 7 guys score double figures this year, maybe 8. So I think that's going to continue to improve as they continue to get comfortable, and they're seeing the success that can come with it.
We have got to take another quick timeout. We'll take your texts and phone calls at 296-1420. We're at Ruby Tuesdays, and this is Call the Coach on ESPN. Hold on.
Protect your family with V-Shield, the next generation of hand sanitizers. As a spray or lotion, V-Shield kills the COVID virus on contact, providing 4 hours of protection. Purchase V-Shield sanitizers at all Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union locations, just $13. With every sanitizer purchase, the credit union will donate a travel spray to a frontline hero. Visit hificu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. All sales final. Nova Shield LLC is solely responsible for the content of this advertisement and is the manufacturer and distributor of this product. Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union makes no representations or warranties concerning the effectiveness of this product.
Battery Bill. Battery Bill. Be prepared for any emergency with a portable solar generator from Battery Bill. Have any solar generator will provide backup power when you need it most. And peace of mind. Choose from top brands like Jackery and Goal Zero. Learn more at batterybill.com.
Hi, I'm Battery Bill. The sun is the center of our solar system. Battery Bills is your center for solar generators. When you need emergency power, when you need portable power, it's
Battery Bill. Battery Bill.
Sports fans, catch the games at Dixie Grill Barbecue and Crab Shack in Aiea. ESPN Goal Line, TBS, TNT, NFL Network, NBA TV, NFL Red Zone, NBC and CBS Sports Network, and a lot more. Even the Tennis Channel. While you're here, give them the gift of grinds this Christmas. Buy $100 in Dixie Grill gift certificates, get a $25 gift certificate free. Check out the game and do your Christmas shopping at the same time at Dixie Grill Barbecue and Crab Shack in Aiea, where there's always something smoking.
12 games, 8 teams, 3 days, 1 champion. The Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic tips off December 22nd with all-day holiday hoops excitement in the Simplify Arena at the Stan Sheriff Center. Get your tickets today to see a stellar field that includes BYU, Liberty, Northern Iowa, South Florida, Stanford, Vanderbilt, Wyoming, and your Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. For more information, visit HawaiianAirlinesDiamondHeadClassic.com. Mahalo to sponsors Hawaiian Airlines and Outrigger Hotels and Resorts.
Tickets on sale today.
Perfect. Oh, bleep, beep, boo, boo, bleep.
Hey, honey, you power with the Christmas lights?
Oh, baby, no worry. I get them all cherry synced up to the music that you like by Michael Bublé. Blah, blah, blah. Go check them. Go.
Honey, I don't think you're supposed to plug them all into our power strip.
See, baby, I knew you was going to say that. So I'm one step ahead of you and I went plug them into Jack's house outlet.
You plugged our lights into our neighbor's outlet? Please tell me you're kidding.
Absolutely not. How's that for resourceful? And yes, you can thank me later, you know, with the Mrs. Santa suit and the cookies in a cookie jar and the ice cream and little bit brownies. Hey, wait, whoa, hey, what is that? The whole street stay black out now.
Honey, it's Jack.
And what he like? Hey, Mele Kalikimaka, this is Uncle Bijo, and from all of us at the IBEW Local 1186, wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. Boo, ba-loop, bloop, blue, ba-boo, blee.
This is ESPN Honolulu, KKEA Honolulu, AM 1420, and K224FR, Honolulu, 92.7 FM. Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu.
Also know how great it is and how important it is, but there is going to be an event before the night before the tournament starts on December 22nd. It's December 21st. It's the Coaches versus Cancer fundraiser at the Outrigger Reef. Anybody here can get a ticket, buy a ticket, and come on down. The money raised is going to the national. I think you do it from here, but it's a National Coaches versus Cancer fundraiser. I remember at first, all of the coaches were invited. A lot of guys would say, gee, yeah, I'd love to, but we have practice. There was, even though everybody was positive about it, there was some that were finding a reason they couldn't come. Now, there's 7 invitations. All 7 are coming. I think that's due to you.
No, I think that's a credit to the people who put this together and those coaches. And, as you get, it's like anything. When you first do an event, there's some uncertainty, and now it's an established event and nationally. And I think it's an example of everybody at their respective schools can be part of Coaches vs. Cancer. And we've all been involved in it from a suits and sneakers standpoint. But, when we tried to, what can we do to do our part here? And eventually it became, with the ESPN Diamond Head Classic people, because that's a way we can get different coaches here and 7 different coaches. And so we're able to raise some money. We're able to raise awareness. We've had a great site, Sean D. and Outrigger, Al Chi and Texaco, Island Energy, Coca-Cola jumping in, and just
this year.
Yeah, and ESPN and the Diamond Head Classic folks. And so it's it takes a village, and we didn't have it last year, but here we are now in year 5, and the momentum of bringing it back in the future, and it shows you that every little bit helps. There's no value to awareness and spreading the word, and hopefully everybody here, and I appreciate you asking me about this so we can talk about it, continue to spread the word. We still have some time before it happens, but I just think it's going to be bigger and better. And we've had some new coaches have been involved with Coaches for Cancer before, some have not and are now involved with it. Some are doing events. I mean, it adds up, and so whether it's over a year nationally, if more people do these, but next year I think we could be closing in on already raising a total of $100,000, and if that continues to grow, that's significant, and I'm really proud of that and thankful for a lot of people.
Well, I think inevitably what happens is some of these coaches come and they get ideas from having attended it. They think, wow, look what these guys are doing. Maybe we can go back home and we can have one of these.
Well, I've been fortunate to talk to other coaches at these events and even since these events, and assistant coaches who've been part of this who have become head coaches. I mean, it never ends. It's amazing. And so just to be part of a team, as you know, and this is the ultimate team, and, spending time with the American Cancer Society folks and the Coaches vs. Cancer folks, it's a family. And so we're all helping each other. We're looking out for each other. And like I said, everybody could do something. And some people get discouraged, and myself as well when we first started. Well, what can we do here? Hasn't been done, and can we, but here we are in year 5, and I think there's a chance for everybody to do something, and every little bit helps.
Well, this is going to be a very well-attended event. And I actually appeal, especially to the people that are here tonight, because these folks come to a lot of the things we do. And this is a fun one. You can really, you'll have some fun, and you'll meet the coaches. The night before the tournament, all these guys that you'll see stressed out on the sidelines in front of their benches on the following days are very relaxed. You can go up to and meet and talk to anybody. I find they're quite receptive.
Well, perspective is everything, and you can do both. We can step away for a couple hours to raise money and raise awareness for an unbelievable cause, and then get back and shift gears and get ready for a tough tournament. And it's been shown that way, and I appreciate those guys stepping up. And like I said, over the years, when you say, hey, would you be able to come to this event, it's been, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. And you've seen over the years how much fun the coaches have. And this isn't one of those, it's very informal and casual, and we do a good job, and you get to meet, I'll stay after if anyone for some reason wants to talk to me. But I know the coaches have stayed after and, talking story. And I've always said, being here for a bit, it's great to see familiar faces, especially there's some
Sure.
faces I haven't seen in a while, and then meeting new friends. There's nothing like it.
Well, and by the way, just in case anyone's wondering, it's basically heavy poo-poos. They provide beer and wine. It's in soft drinks. It's really a fun evening. I think if you do come, I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it every year, and like year 5, and again, even more so the perspective of not having been able to do a lot of things the last couple of years and bringing things back this year. That's exciting, and it will build off it again in the future.
We are, and again, that's December 21st, and the official time of it is 7. I want to think it's 7 to 9.
Yep.
I think I have that right. So it's not super early. You got a time. You can go to work or whatever you're doing, and then come down and still get home at a reasonable hour.
And please keep spreading the word. I mean, I know we all really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to doing our part here.
Okay, and then a couple of things. Tickets went on sale today for that Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head. So you can get individual tickets. For anybody who buys season tickets now, you can click a box and you can have the ticket for December 21st included in that.
Isn't that
How
awesome?
fabulous is that?
Yeah, no, it's and you've seen it's been it's been a great atmosphere, great environment, great time. Looking forward to it.
Okay, let's get back. I want to talk about a little bit about the rest of the field. We mentioned BYU and Vanderbilt. I know zero about South Florida this year. Can you give us a thumbnail?
I'm not going to make it up right now. I know Mike is on South Florida. And, it's interesting because we've all seen probably a lot of these teams, because of the holiday tournaments. And you flick the channel, you see BYU. You'll turn on the channel, you'll see Stanford play the other night. And so, but South Florida I haven't seen yet. Just the timing hasn't worked. But I feel like I've gotten a look at every team as a fan and a quick look, but because of all the games that are going on. But we obviously have a staff that's doing a lot of the scout work now.
Well,
where it gets
and in your sort of not defense, but in sort of to explain that game, the earliest you could see South Florida BYU is 10 days from now.
Right.
It's the 13th, and the earliest that game could take place is the 23rd.
Yeah, I mean, usually we have kind of a talk like this maybe 5 or 6 days before the Diamond
yes.
Head, and we'll be pretty prepared. Right now, we are actually, because of the uniqueness, we actually would have maybe had even a game, a non-conference game before the Diamond Head, and we probably will next year. But right now, it's really been about, us getting a head start on Vanderbilt, reviewing our 7 games right now with their team, and them, finishing strong academically.
Not to mention, there's a lot of new players on this year's team.
Yeah.
So I kind of think, and Riley used to be, I don't know if you, maybe Randy Bennett, the two guys you know best, he maybe had a different thought. But Riley was always like, if we have a lot coming back, we're going to schedule tougher. If we're kind of breaking a lot of new guys into the system, we'll give them a couple of games where we think we can win while we have a chance to get better. Do you subscribe to that?
Yeah, but there's a balance to it. Like, we had some new faces this year, but we had some maturity and experience. We just happened to go from, let's say we had 11 to 7 quickly, or 12 to 8, because we lost the 2 for the year, and then all of a sudden we lose the 2 other guys. But more of the challenge, I think, in terms of scheduling in general, I know we've talked about it, is when we had, North Carolina lined up, and the Diamond Head and the Rainbow with a Washington State in there and a San Diego in there and a tough road game. And remember, non-conference right now is about 10 games because of the 20-game league slates. That's kind of the balance we'd like to have. COVID has hit us in both years, whereas I think some of the future, it won't hurt us as much in the future. That's why you saw we announced North Carolina. And we
Which
want to
was
get
fabulous, by the way.
Yeah, and we want to get back to that. Even before the schedule that we had lost because of COVID, we had played 2 MTEs. We played the Diamond Head. We played the Wood and Legacy. We played at UCLA. The year after that, we played at Oregon, at Illinois. So we want to get kind of back to that, depending on what we're able to do. But I feel like that's coming back the way scheduling is going already for the future years.
Well, going to be good fun. Do you do the scheduling yourself? Do you delegate that to a particular
No, you can
assistant,
blame all of that on everybody but me. No, I to be honest, Jesse was doing it the last couple of years. Dominic helped us finish it last year. He's done a great job getting us ahead for next year. It is a tedious task, but I will say that Dom has made sure believe me, and I don't care if those guys think we're annoying, but we have hit every single coach in the country, and then we'll hit them again, and we'll hit them again until we find the answer we want. And that's kind of, scheduling is as competitive in a lot of ways as recruiting. And you have to balance dates and windows where you have facilities and things like that. And, it's not an easy task, but I feel like we're in a good rhythm, again, going into future years.
So it sounds like Dominic may have heard that old sales advice. You have to be told no 7 times before you accept it, right? You don't accept a no until you've heard it 7 times.
And he is perfect for it because he's relentless. And he's obviously, as you know, a great worker, and great to have him. It's not an easy task. It's one of those tasks that's really important in every program, but it's a lot of work.
We have a couple of players on this year's team that I think will become bona fide. And I think some of it was even last year, even though fans couldn't come, but they'd see him on TV. Because if you don't fall in love with Byu Riley, who looks like kind of a little slimmed down. Last year, he really could have passed for a tight end. But he's one. Another one I got to talk about is Javon McClanahan, because he has come so far from last year. He is now really quarterbacking that team. And I have to say, when he first got here from JC, I wasn't sure he had that in him, but he does.
Well, you got to let guys go through ups and downs, and I feel for the guys last year who had 0 non-conference, and then they lost Bernardo and Samuta, so it was like the young guys were literally thrown in the fire. And the hope was that it will help him for this year, and now that's unfortunately happening again, and the hope that will help him for next year. And guys have done a good job with that, and some of it is you just got to hang in and keep fighting. He's had 28 assists and 8 turnovers in the last 4 games. That's incredible. His shots come around a little bit, but the heart of it all for him is competitive. I know you said, hey, and some people haven't gotten to know our guys, but because of the restrictions and things like that, but are starting to get to know them. It's the best thing we have in our program. The student athletes we have at UH and the guys in our program are off the charts. Spend some time with them. Introduce yourself, because you'll be impressed. And they all have great stories, and it's just fun to see them grow. And Javon's jump, or Noel comes in from San Diego, doesn't play much. He has a mini breakthrough because that's how it happens. Doesn't happen overnight, and averages 7 or 8 a game and has a couple good games and shoots close to 40% from 3. Then year 2, he's averaging 15 a game on 45 and 45 and 70, and he's had several 20-point games. And junior, people forget because they talk about the guys who are younger, but he hadn't played Division I. He didn't have a non-conference last year, and here he is in year 2. And he goes from, a solid first year, 11 a game. His percentages were okay. He's now 12, 13 a game, and he's shooting 50-plus, 48 and 80.
Crazy, yeah.
That's so people here can not only get to see guys grow as people, but to see, and usually it usually transfers in on the floor. And I'm really, I've said it at length, what these guys are going through has not been easy, but they're going through it together, and they're fighting, and they're scrapping, and they're proud of the H. And I just hope, like you said, people come and support them because they deserve every bit of it.
Well, this is one of the friendliest groups. I remember when I first walked in, you kind of introduced every single guy on that team came over, some to reacquaint and others to introduce themselves. I never really experienced that before. It's a great fun group to be on the road with. I had that guys in Santa Clara. We're going to take a quick time out. We've got a few things to talk about in the home stretch, but let's turn it over to Chris Hart. We are at Ruby Tuesdays, and this is called The Coach.
12 games, 8 teams, 3 days, 1 champion. The Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic tips off December 22nd with all-day holiday hoops excitement in the Simplify Arena at the Stan Sheriff Center. Get your tickets today to see a stellar field that includes BYU, Liberty, Northern Iowa, South Florida, Stanford, Vanderbilt, Wyoming, and your Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. For more information, visit HawaiianAirlinesDiamondHeadClassic.com. Mahalo to sponsors Hawaiian Airlines and Outrigger Hotels and Resorts.
Tickets on sale today. Show us your Christmas spirit and qualify to win a $100 cash prize and a Holly Jolly Christmas dinner buffet for 4 at the Pagoda. Head to ESPNHonolulu.com and submit a photo of yourself celebrating the spirit of the season. The photo can include friends, family, and of course your pets. But don't wait. The entry deadline is Friday, December 17th, with the winner determined via online voting. We'll announce the winner on December 23rd. Mahalo to Spectrum Mobile, City Mill, and the Pagoda. Happy holidays from ESPN Honolulu.
Some people think of public workers as statistics, numbers, positions that are unnecessary. But public workers include police dispatchers, lifeguards, principals, and other school workers like safety and security specialists and educational assistants, public health nurses, and thousands more real people who play important roles that every community needs. So those public workers, we shouldn't take them for granted. They provide essential services that benefit us all. A message from HGEA.
When you feel like Vegas, there's just one place to stay. Grab a drink at the Holo Holo Bar. There's just one place to play. We got a fresh, hot look, a new sports book. We got those local meals, just like Auntie cooks. Aloha spoken here.
Get back to Vegas with Vacations Hawaii. Airfare, hotel, meals, and transfers, just $777.
The Easy Post Hawaii Bowl kicks off Christmas Eve at 3 p.m. The Memphis Tigers and the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors will make history, playing the first postseason college football game in the new Clarence T.C. Ching Athletics Complex. Get your tickets now for hard-hitting action up close. For details, visit thehawaiibowl.com. Mahalo to Easy Post, Hawaiian Airlines, Sheraton Waikiki and Moana Surfrider, a Westin resort. Made in Hawaii, played in Hawaii. The Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. Get your tickets now.
Protect your family with V-Shield, the next generation of hand sanitizers. As a spray or lotion, V-Shield kills the COVID virus on contact, providing 4 hours of protection. Purchase V-Shield sanitizers at all Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union locations, just $13. With every sanitizer purchase, the credit union will donate a travel spray to a frontline hero. Visit highfivecu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. All sales final. Nova Shield LLC is solely responsible for the content of this advertisement and is the manufacturer and distributor of this product. Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union makes no representations or warranties concerning the effectiveness of this product.
Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu.
Welcome back to Ruby Tuesdays, our Monday edition of Call the Coach. Chris is one of those guys. This is why when you watch Chris, you'll realize why they always tell us in the business, don't give up the mic. Don't give up the mic. It's dangerous. You'll never get it back. So we are going to actually hand our mic to someone who I know is better behaved. Let's put it that way. And Keegan, that's our fellow right over there. So why don't we go ahead and start? Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to Eran, and he can ask whatever you want.
I know him well.
Oh, you do?
He's a good one.
Okay. Turn it on. That helps. Go ahead. Louder.
Oh. No, it's a good question. I'm really excited about Kamaka. We're all really excited about. Everybody here should be excited about him. He's going through the same process. To be honest, that guys who maybe didn't play as much or playing behind some really good players. Now you come to a school and you have to go into a different role. So there's a process there. You know, you talk about Noah Allen. You know, Noah Allen scores one a game and comes here and, you know, going through that early and then leads the league in scoring that same year. You know, Jenks, you know, was averaging 9.5, 10 a game. And then the jump from his to the last year, he goes from not an all-conference player to player of the year. So I feel like I'm excited about where he can. I think he's an all-conference player, how far he can take it. I'm really just excited to see where it is. This early, I think he's, you know, like I said earlier, 10 points, 5 boards, 50 from the field, 45 plus from 3, 80 from the line. And people might be thinking it should be here already, right? But that's the way. He's ahead of curve in a lot of ways. Now he has 7 games. He's played more minutes. We're playing through him more. We got to let him go through some ups and downs. But the luxury of having a guy who can play, we can throw to in the post, who can shoot like he can, who can pass over the top of defenders, who can get in the paint when there's some mismatches. And we've asked him to play 3 and 4 because of some of our injuries. And his all that doesn't pale in comparison compared to the leadership he has. This is a immediate captain in our program. So I love where he's at. I love where he's headed, and the sky's the limit. He's also effective on the defensive end, his length. I think he's going to continue to get stronger. But now the breakthroughs, before you have the big breakthrough, you got to have a mini breakthrough, and he's certainly going through that right now. I can't tell you how excited I am to have a guy like him in our program, to have him for 2 years, and I feel like he's off to a great start. But this is a guy who I think is going to be one of the better players in our conference, and moving forward, the sky's the limit.
You may, and I understand that the process of application is in the works. It's not out of the realm of possibility. You could get Jerome back for another year.
Well, there's some things that, you know, he's part of a different situation where, you know, a lot of guys who had the COVID year were able to play 2 years. And,
Right.
like, you could play last year or not play last year, but you still get the extra year, whereas the guys who played in the Ivy League, the student athletes played there, did not have that option. So I don't know where that's at. Obviously, all I can say is I would love to coach Jerome for another year.
I hear you.
And I know he would love to be back for another year. So that's about all I know about that situation.
Who handles that? Compliance? Is that?
I wish I handled all of that, and NCAA. I was the liaison of the NCAA, and I made those decisions for the NCAA. No, there's a lot of it's a lot of layers. It's the NCAA, it's the conferences, it's compliance.
And who from UH?
All those things. Sorry, all those things work through our compliance,
Okay.
and compliance works with the NCAA on all situations which could be a waiver, things like that. But and we work cooperatively with them, and it's been a good process for us in the past. This is there's some cases that are in very unique waiver situation like this would be, and so that's out of our expertise.
But I am very hopeful for him that he would be able to do it. A guy who loves it as much as he does to be here, and who fits in as well as he does, would be fabulous to have him for.
Sometimes late bloomers can be older guys. You know, I think people forget that. Like, even when you said a Noah Allen or even Jenks, I used to say people should, invest in those guys if they want to continue to play professionally, because they're just had these couple years. Look what they've done in just a couple years of playing significant minutes. So Jerome has obviously built a lot of confidence. I think he's improving, and I think there's more room for growth.
Okay, here's a question. This is Paul on YouTube. How has the system changed from your first year to now?
Oh, like we said earlier, with the different staffs we've had here, with the game has been changing. It's funny because it's only been 6, but there's been significant changes in the way the game's played. So we take a look. Then the new rules, point of emphasis, come in. We take a look, and you wrinkle things for your personnel. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to wrinkle them in the moment. We've had, like, in example, each of the last 3 years, we've had 2 significant injuries, unfortunately, and so we've had to readjust to our adjustments. So the bottom line is, I'll say, is our program will always be about team. We will always play inside out. We will always share the ball. We will always support each other defensively. We will always be on the glass. So we've consistently been one of the better defensive rebound teams in the country, sharing the ball, taking teams off the three. But the wrinkles are, for an example, how we played at St. Mary's. I come in here first year and I see this hybrid in Jenks, and I go, okay, we got to play a little differently through Jenks. Then Jack Purchase, we play, such a good passer. decided to play through him as eventually people figured out Jack was kind of our second point guard.
Right.
And you know, so you have the formula and the blueprint, but you wrinkle it for your personnel. We had a guy like Samuta, Noah Allen, so electric at the 3, who could play you in isolations, who could play in the post. We got to play through that a little bit. And then this year, as you notice, some teams are probably thinking, well, they run a post-up offense. They post up their 3, Kamaka's in there, then they'll post up Jerome, and then they'll throw Mate and Bernardo in there. And then they'll put Junior and Vaughn and Noel in ball screen. So I think we had a kind of the perfect kind of deal going in with everybody was healthy, and then we adjusted for our personnel and tried to play a little bit more smash mouth. So to answer that question, we wrinkle things for personnel, rule changes, and the way the game's played.
Eran, believe it or not, we are flat out of time. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks to Rick Nakashima from Ruby Tuesday, for Chris Hart, for Keegan Ota, from all of us at ESPN Honolulu. I'm Bobby Curran. Aloha.
This has been Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu. Brought to you by HGEA, IBEW Local 1186, by the Hawaii Building and Construction Trades Council, and Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union.
Maui Brewing Company is your home for handcrafted beers and seltzers from Maui. An island-inspired cuisine created with local ingredients. From Kihei to Lahaina, Kailua to Waikiki, you'll find something for every taste bud. Mouth-watering appetizers, fresh salads with locally sourced greens, artisan pizzas, and more. Perfectly paired with our award-winning beers and cocktails. Come on down today and mention ESPN Honolulu for a complimentary order of fries with any purchase of an entree. For more information, visit us at mauibrewing.com.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Well, John, the stage is set for the final transaction.
That's right, Joe. Heather's moment has arrived, and you just hope all that training pays off.
Heather lays down her purchase, but Randy rings it up as slowly as he can.
He is a wily veteran.
It gives Heather's eyes the chance to wander.
Uh-oh.
Yep, she's looking at the cigarettes.
There's nothing good back there. Quit now, and in 5 years, your odds of getting certain cancers drop 50%.
Meanwhile, Randy, stone-faced, is giving nothing away. He just stands there, wetting his cashier's finger on that sponge.
Heather toes the rubber.
Here we go. Heather's arm is in motion. But instead of pointing at the back wall, she just grabs the gum off the counter.
That's a slick move.
Heather, back. She is out of there. Even Randy tips his cap to Heather. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally wants you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to TakeTheHealthyStand.org.
People are talking about the exquisite flavors of Kaloa Rum, and now you can experience them for yourself. Join us for a special Kaloa Rum Pauhana event on Monday, December 13th at 6 p.m. at DB Grill in Kapolei Commons. This is a great opportunity for you to sample this carefully crafted spirit, so rich, smooth, and authentically Hawaiian. Of course, if you can't wait for the 13th, Kaloa Rum is available now at your local ABC store, Foodland, Safeway, and more. Kaloa Rum, a proud partner of ESPN Honolulu. Life's better with rum, with Kaloa Rum.
Aloha, Jennifer Hardy for Hardy Homes Hawaii. Your biggest asset is your home. Wouldn't you agree you need a real estate company working towards your goals? Hardy Homes Hawaii is the advantage you need. Our creative, efficient, and resourceful team provides you the highest level of service you deserve, providing clear action and consultation for the sale or purchase of real estate. Go to hardyhomeshawaii.com and experience the advantage today. Hardy Homes Hawaii, enriching life and relationships through inspiration, one home at a time.
Hardware Hawaii. Customer first in Kailua. Hi, this is Eddie. I'm the lead number for Hardware Hawaii in Kailua. I like how customers find it. It's not like the other stranger just showing here. My customers are like my friends. I just help them out. I feel good. It just makes my day. We're out here in the lumber yard ready to serve you.
Hardware Hawaii. Customer first in Kailua.
This is ESPN Honolulu, KKEA Honolulu, AM 1420 and K224 FR, Honolulu, 92.7 FM.